Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm Johannes de Jong, one of the organizers of this event, an artist, and a member of the Digital Arts Committee and the SIGGRAPH Education Committee. And I'm really fortunate to have had the good collaboration of my colleague, Gustavo Rincon, who is here with us as well, in organizing this event. And today we'll be looking backward at the exhibition that we organized in Denver, Colorado over summer 2024, and looking forward to a future collaboration with the Vancouver Mural Festival. So we're really fortunate to have our collaborators and partners with us today, many of the artists from that exhibition in Denver, and then our partners from Vancouver here as well.
Next up is Dr. Maiza Hixson, an esteemed colleague, guest curator, and so if people don't know, she helped save the project, in my opinion. So take it away, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Rincon, and thank you, Johannes, and all of the SIGGRAPH participants and artists, organizers. My name, as Dr. Rincon said, is Maiza Hixson, and I'm a curator, transdisciplinary artist. I have a PhD in theater, dance, and performance studies, and I write about the performative staging of cities and urban space, and I analyze how public art both participates in and often catalyzes resistance against branded narratives of cities and place. And from 2015 to 2017, I was curator of public art for the Santa Barbara Center for Art, Science, and Technology, as well as the Santa Barbara County Arts Commission. And I've also served as a chief curator at multiple nonprofits and museums across the country. I'm currently the visiting assistant professor of theater in the Visual and Performing Arts Department at UT Dallas. So it was a great opportunity to be invited to be part of the New Media Architectures project that Dr. Rincon and Johannes invited me to be a part of and to co-curate. And so this was really a collaborative effort, as everyone has said, for the Denver Theater District. And I'm very interested in the ways that cities perform through media, art, and architecture. So when we reviewed all the submissions, which we had so many incredible artworks that we were able to review, from these AI-generated panoramas of melting polar ice caps to glitchy vintage commercials that satirize ski campaigns, the artworks in this project really did re-signify the commercial Denver Theater District as this innovative stage for public art. And you can see that all of the works that Johannes showed in the first video really, I think, re-signified the static, and the LED screens located throughout the downtown area. And we had over 30 artists, so they utilized these scale displays as sites for their digital imagery. And I thought that it really was something that stimulated urgent environmental and cultural discourse through this sense of urban placemaking. And whereas companies are normally showing their own brand names and they're promoting their products on billboard screens to appeal to individual consumers, in this exhibition, artists presented all of their works, their dynamic visualizations, for non-commercial purposes and street level reflection. So I was very interested in the ways the artworks choreographed the body in space, the ways that it invited people to navigate differently through the built environment. So walking and biking and driving up to gaze at these displays, audiences were sort of immersed in a live urban theater. And I think that's very interesting, where this art, technology, and the body collided to reperform civic space, excuse me. And there were multiple artworks that I could reflect on in depth, but for the sake of time, I thought about Minka Stoyanova's beer ad and the ways that this work, it shows this, the powder is ready, it's an advertisement, and it really is this kind of ironic contrast between the crisp high-end commercial image of advertising culture with the degraded, blurry image caused by the pixelation that you see. It kind of is a reminder of the dissolution of our fantasy objects in the context of an urban capitalistic landscape. But it also gestures toward the tourist industry, skiing, and the rewards of toiling downtown for the escape to, a natural experience on the slopes. So I was very interested in that work, and also Young Ju Lee's work, Needles and Thread, and the ways that this artwork talked about the labor behind the fashion industry, shown as hand-drawn video animation. And I considered this in relation to the city and the theater, where mass production and mass consumption are taken for granted, and without thought of the hand and the worker behind the exterior facade and scenes. So those are two works that I spotlight, and then I also presented my own work, so I can share with you my work that I was delighted to have the opportunity to show. So let me just share my screen with you. 1 second. So this is called World Atlas, and this work was basically originally an image that I painted. It's done in acrylic ink and micron pen and ink. And it's a form of mark making that I do and have done as a kind of durational performance, an embodied aesthetic gesture that occurs in material and temporal space. And the work is blurring geographic as well as fleshy borders. And I try to cast these forms, these post-human forms and hybrid anatomies as somatic bodies, striving for relevance in their respective spheres of influence. So they're very colorful. I use kind of day glow colors in many instances, and I'm blurring these geographic boundaries. They're kind of chimeric forms, manifesting these visual choreographies of the sublime, and they reference imagery culled from a wide variety of sources like digital culture and nature, medical illustration, cartoons, horror films, speculative fiction, psychedelia, and punk aesthetics. And it's extremely rewarding to see the work, writ large, and from this wonderful image that Johannes provided me, because it is such a striking defamiliarization of the downtown area. And I'm very excited to hear from all of the artists, what their experience of looking at their work in situ as it was projected and screened. So that's all I have for you, but thank you again for the chance to be a part of this incredible exhibition.
Thank you, Maiza.